Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. I'm Amy from Amy Being Mum. Today I am going to be sharing with you 5 ways to reduce toy clutter. I think most of us have been there at one time or another. Your house is just covered in toys, especially those little tiny little things, Shopkins and Polly Pockets, ponies, maybe it's action figures or little toy cars, whatever it is. You have these tiny little bits everywhere and it's just clutter. So I'm going to be sharing with you 5 ways to reduce this toy clutter. Okay, my tip number 1 is to group items together. So I like to group items, similar items together. So we have a box, let's see what we've got here. So this box here behind me has all the tiny little things. It's got Shopkins, ponies, all these little kind of things. They all stay together in this box. And I know at the end of the day when it's time to tidy up that everything just goes in here rather than all these tiny little bits getting thrown into a toy box and getting lost at the bottom and never seen again. So this is a nice way to keep them tidy and also they will still get used. Another example behind me, I have this box in this storage cube and this has all Elle's Doc McStuffin toys in. So she's got like her doctor's case, she's got her like stethoscopes and what else? We've actually got, let's make lots of noises. We've actually got a Doc McStuffin doll. So all the Doc McStuffin things all go in here. And if she has any other doctor things like doctor sets or books about doctors, I actually put it all in here, so everything that's doctor related goes in the Doc McStuffin box. And then it's really easy to find. We know where to find it, Elle knows where to find it, and it just makes everything so much simpler by grouping all the like items together. Okay, tip number 2 is probably one of the most useful tips I could ever share with you. It's something I learned when I worked in the nurseries and it works so well, and it is to rotate toys. So we did this all the time when I worked in the nursery, and I did it when I childminded, and I've done it with my own kids since learning this tip. I didn't do it when Caitlin was little because I didn't know about it. But basically, find some big storage containers, put in some of the kids' toys. When I was childminding, I think I had, you know, the storage baskets that fold flat and then you can pop them up. I had maybe like 4 of them. And I would put toys into the 4 baskets and I would only take out 1 per week. And then at the end of the week, I would tidy away all the toys, put it back in the cupboard and take out another one. So it meant that the kids I was looking after didn't get bored of the same toys week in, week out, because they do get fed up of seeing the same things. So by rotating them, it changes things up. They become interested in their toys again. And it also means you don't have masses of toys everywhere because you have a limited amount of toys. It seems a bit unfair to only give them a small amount of toys, but if you give them 4 toys rather than 20 toys, they will really sit and play with those 4 toys. Whereas if there's 20 toys in front of them, it's just too overwhelming and they don't know what to play with first and they can't actually see what's in front of them because all they see is an array of toys. So by giving them those 4 items and setting them out for them, they will really play with those toys, and then after a week or 2 weeks, a month, whatever you choose, you can rotate them and they have a whole new set of toys to play with. I find if you have a lot of similar toys, so like I said earlier, by grouping toys together, so maybe you have construction toys, you have small world toys, so things like, try to think of things, for example, like, you know, like the little people toys or anything small world, little farms, doll's house, things like that. Maybe you have a lot of similar items, so you could put 1 of each in each box. So maybe have 1 construction item in 1 box, maybe it's Duplo, maybe you have stickle bricks you could put in another box, and separate it out so they have 1 of each category in each box. So they're still getting, maybe each box will have a construction toy, a small world toy, a creative toy, a sensory toy, whatever. So as you swap it around, they're still getting the same experiences from each box, but it's just changed up a little bit. So my next tip is to scale back on toys. Now, like I said before, if your child has hundreds of toys, you might find, I'm not saying you do, but you might find that your child doesn't play with a lot of them, and it's probably because they can't see them. So they might be right in front of them, obviously, but when there is too many toys, you just can't see them properly. So it's like when you go into a shop, like the Primark, and there's just clothes everywhere, and they're maybe not in a particular order, they've all just been shoved back, and you can't actually see what you're looking for. Whereas you might go into a boutique store and it has 4 stands laid out really nicely individually, and it's much easier and the clothes look so much more attractive and appealing displayed that way. It's the same with toys, it's how you display them. So if you have a small amount displayed really well, they're going to want to play with those rather than having just a stramash of toys everywhere. So my tip is to scale back on toys, and I think you will find that your children will really enjoy playing with them more when there is less of them. So another great tip is to have a tidy up routine. Now, quite often if you don't have a routine, I know I have been in this boat before, but it'll come to bedtime, bath time, or you're leaving for somewhere and you don't have time to tidy up properly. Everything just gets shoved in the toy box in a mess, and then we're back to the same old thing of things get lost, you can't find things aren't as appealing to play with because it's all just in a big rammy in a box. So by having a tidy up routine, you're allowing yourself enough time to tidy things away properly, you're teaching your child about looking after their toys, and also it's giving them really good life lessons about how to take care of things around them. If you'd like to see a video where I share with you how to get kids involved in housework and chores and things like that, I can do that, let me know in the comments. But as far as tidying up with your children, it works really well, I find, to have a tidy up song, whether it's one that you just sing together, or you can look up a song on YouTube, tidy up song, or there'll be ones on like iTunes and things like that. Just look it up, and it's really good to have a tidy up song. I find it works best if you stick to the same song every tidy up time rather than changing it up, because then when this song comes on, kids know that's the time for tidying up, and it motivates them to get busy and do the job that they're meant to be doing. Tidy up together, teach your child where things go. Don't expect them just to know instantly where to put things. Teach them, make it fun for them. Maybe you want to label things with pictures or words that they can read. Make it fun and make tidying up something that is a good fun experience to do together. Okay, my last tip for reducing toy clutter is to have pretty storage solutions. Now, if you have toys all over your living room, it is unrealistic to expect to just have none overnight. You need somewhere to store them, but make it pretty, make it in your living room that you can put them somewhere that you're not going to mind looking at. So maybe you're sitting with your other half once the kids are in bed watching television. You don't want to be seeing kids' toys everywhere. I know it's part of life, and it's going to happen, but if possible, it's nice to have nice storage baskets or bags or a cupboard you can put them away. Keeps them tidy, and it means that you can have that adult space when it's your time and you don't have the kids around. So I hope you found these tips on reducing toy clutter helpful. I would love to hear in the comments if you are going to incorporate any of these tips into your house. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Loads of stuff isn't necessarily tip for cutting back on toy clutter. I might do one more. Right, okay, to